In today's video, I'm going to show you how to find the best youth talent for any career mode here on FIFA 21. So let's jump into it. Before we do get on to today's video, I need to let you know that this is brought to you by the EA Game Changers program. Everything that you're seeing here is a part of the live beta at the moment. It doesn't have everything in here just yet. It may be tuned, it may be changed, final ratings aren't there, but today's video we are going to go through and we're going to show you how to scout the best youth talent to use in your upcoming career mode. Turn yourself into the next powerhouse in Europe. So we've got a team here in Watford. We are currently sitting in the championship, of course, after they were relegated, and today we are just going to completely focus on youth talent. We will have some more videos coming up for you, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel with that notification bell, but today we concentrate on the youth academy. So we've got a bit of money to play with, 42 odd million, and that means that we can go ahead and hire some superstar scouts. So let's head into the scout window here. Now, we already start off with one scout, thankfully, with Watford. They've changed a few things up here on FIFA 21. They do start you with a fairly decent scout. Jonathan Morris, 5-star experience, 4-star judgment. Now, we will go ahead and hire another scout. Now, what you will get, experience will bring you back a bigger load of players. So if you only have Max Ward here, he's only going to bring you back maybe 1 or 2 players. Whereas if you go with the Spaniard here at a 5-star, he'll probably bring you back 6 to 8 players for every report that you get back monthly. So let's get Cabrera in. And just for the sake of this tutorial, let's get a bit of a lower one here. We'll go with Timu, the Finnish lad here, 3-star, 2-star. Now, judgment will bring you back higher quality players. So if you, for instance, have a 2-star experience but 5-star judgment, you will get a lot of better players back, but you may only get 1 or 2 in each report. So that's how the judgment and the experience work. Let's get Timo in. Now, we do need to send the scouts out from, playing youth academy career modes over a considerable amount of years. It used to be that you had to go to the big countries to bring back the big players, but now it's pretty varied that you can go to the smaller nations and they will still bring you back some top talent. So Jonathan Morris, what we're going to do is we're going to send him out to England. That is his national country. There's been rumours and theories that English-speaking scouts needed to go to English-speaking countries and their home country to bring back a higher chance of a better talent. Most of that's trash, but we will go off to England. Now, you've got a few types here. Technically gifted, winger, physically strong, playmaker, goalkeeper, attacker, defensive-minded. None of those have changed since the previous titles. They all work differently. We can do an explanation on those if you'd like. Let me know in the comments section. But for this tutorial, we're just going to go for any here in England. Now, for Cristobal Cabrera, the Spaniard, well, there are some new countries available on FIFA 21. So we can see here in Northern Europe, we've got new countries. We've got Estonia, and finally, we can scout Wales. If we move across into the rest of Europe, we've got Latvia, Lithuania, Moldova, and the Ukraine. They are the new countries. And in Southern Europe, we also have Albania. There is word on the street that there might be some other countries added before the launch date, but we're not 100% sure on what's happening with that. But I have put in some requests for more countries. I love scouting youth talent. So let's pick a couple of the new ones here. Let's go somewhere into the rest of Europe. Let's see if we can get someone here from... where are we going to go? Let's go to the Ukraine, and I'm going to search for physically strong here. Now, what physically strong will bring you back is generally centre-back players, big central defensive midfielders, and if you're lucky, a big top striker, maybe a left-back or a right-back. Let's just see what we get back. Now, for our small scout here, 3-star, 2-star, just to test the waters, we're going to send him... let's just try somewhere completely, let's go all the way down here to New Zealand, because we don't generally get a lot of talent back from this part of the world, but who knows what we will find. So there we go, our 3 scouts are ready to go. Let's send them on their way, and then once the report's back, I will let you know how to pick the top talent. Now, one thing we do also get here on FIFA 21 is most teams will start with a youth academy. They will have a couple of players in here. Some of them will be quite decent. The Slovakian goalkeeper here looks fairly decent with a potential of 71 to 94. Those statistics will change monthly, so make sure you're keeping an eye on those. Morales doesn't look the best. I'm actually just going to release him straight away. Carrizio could be an option at 65 to 91. And then the centre forward here from Spain, Miguel Palacios. Centre forward striker Cam, 72 to 94 potential. Everything looking pretty decent there. We'll get into some more of the tricks and tips that you can use for your youth academy players shortly. But let's go and check those reports in a month's time and make sure that we're picking that top talent. Right, so it is the 1st of August. Now we get our youth squad monthly report back, because we have current players, so we can go and check that quickly and we can see what's been happening there. So Carrizio's potential has increased, and this thing will fluctuate throughout the career mode. So just, if they're a little bit down on the highest potential that you can think, give them a couple of months in the academy if you have the space, and just monitor that potential, because it can go up and down, and very, very good things can happen for some of these youth academy players. But at this stage, with them just under 60 value, I'm going to leave them in the academy. And now what I've found in the past is that if you do leave them in the academy as long as you can, rather than bring them into the first team, one, they're not sitting there asking for game time, and two, they generally grow a little bit quicker while sitting here in the academy. So I tend to, the real high potential players, if I can afford to, I will leave them in the academy a little bit longer, just to see that potential sort of marinate. The overall will increase, and we'll monitor these 3 lads over the next couple of months. Right, so this is our lad from Finland, the 2-star Judgment, and he's brought us back a few players. Now, the youth academy has been cleaned up a little bit here, some new player faces and the likes, which is good to see. But let's have a look at what talent we've brought back. Now, we've got Brandon King here, 57 to 75, not something that I'm really looking at. One thing to really hone in on is their current value. That will give you a better indication of where they are sitting in that overall. So at the moment, between 37 and 49, he's only 100 grand, 16 years of age with not much potential. He's probably only a 40, 42, and I'm going to reject this player. Joel Robinson as well, 39 to 55, 53 to 73, 180,000 pounds. So he was probably around 43, 44 rated at 17. Not someone we're looking for. Now, here's one. Harvey Murphy, 42 to 58, 68 to 94 potential. Now, you see that 94 potential and you're like, yes, straight away, I want to sign this player. No, you do not want to sign this player straight away. You need to look at his evaluation. Now, he does have a 475 grand evaluation, so that should mean that his potential will go towards the higher side, and his overall should be around the 50-52 mark. And I think that this is the kind of player that you really want to be bringing into your academy, at least for a look. There's no harm in bringing them in for a look. You can release them. It doesn't cost you any money. Now, the other thing I do want to point out before we go and sign this one, if you look at the position rating on the field right now, this is because of his judgment. He's only got 2-star, and that means that there's 5 positions here that this player could possibly fill. You can narrow this down if you have the logic. It's generally around the middle. So for this one, it's a little bit trickier because there's 5 positions, but my feeling is that he is probably a centre attacking midfield. That's how it sort of worked in the past. We will sign him up and have a look shortly in the academy if I'm right. But because of that judgment, it does vary the amount of position that this lad could have. Let's get him in. The next one is Sean Allen. We can sell straight away, 49 to 67, not going to be anything we want. And Tyler Harris, a goalkeeper, 64 to 86, 6'4", 160 grand. If you were desperate, you could possibly look at him, but for me, that is a no. He's 15. He's not going to be able to come straight in if you're playing like a Road to Glory series, so probably not someone that we are going to sign here, at least for Watford. The next scout report we get back is from the Ukraine. This is our Spaniard scout with 4-star judgment. So you can see there, because he's got a higher experience, he's brought back a few more players, and we'll quickly get through this. 100 grand, not what I'm looking for. Shaunaville, 200 grand, 6'6". Now you can see there, he's got centre back, right back, and right midfield. I can guarantee that this lad is a right back, and at 6'6", probably not something that you're looking for, but with the new player swapping their positions, could be an option. He may be a better centre back than he is at a right back because of his height. His stats may work out for that, and if you train him as a centre back, change his position, maybe he could be something for you in the future, but for me, that is a reject. Kalavid, all right, so this is an interesting one. His potential's not quite there at 63 to 87, but we have already seen that increase when they've been in the youth academy. The big value here at 950 grand is because his overall is between 53 and 73. He's probably low to mid 60s. I'm going to assume that he is a right back, and even though his potential is not 94, I'm still going to sign this lad into our academy. This lad is trash. This lad is average at best. No, thank you. And not one for me. Right, we're in England. We're looking for any Jonathan Morris with the 4-star judgment, and he's brought us back a fair, decent amount of players. Declan Harris at 210, not for me. Alfie Brown, not for me. Okay, Lewis Morgan, 52 to 68. So he's got a decent overall, but he is 17, and the potential is 64 to 86. He's probably got a decent evaluation. No, not really. So 230 grand there means that he's probably on the lower end of that overall, and that potential will probably go quite low. Now, for the sake of this video, I am going to sign him to take a look, but generally, this is one that I would pass on. Oliver Cooper, like the overall already trash. I don't even have to think twice. Same with Marcus Baker, Morgan Bailey. I mean, it doesn't matter if you have 5-star scouts until you get a Brandon Green come through the door. 56 to 74, 77 to 94 potential, 5'9". He looks like he will be a right winger. You can't see all of his stats. He's probably got a decent evaluation, 1.1 million. Perfect. This is the kind of player that we want to be bringing into the academy. Right, so we've gone through, and let's have a look at this academy. Now, it will sort it by position now, which is absolutely amazing. So, Burris was already here, the Slovakian. So, here we go. Lewis Morgan, 64 to 86. He's 55 overall. So, you can see there that his potential wasn't quite there. He's got a 4-star weak foot, which isn't too shabby at all. And obviously, with the balanced training, all of the stats will increase. There's no training anymore as such on FIFA 21. It's a different concept, but we can look at that in a future video. The right back, as I said, Arkady Kalavod, right back, centre back, and left back, 6'1", 63 overall. So you could see there why he had, you know, a decent valuation. The stats are looking very decent indeed, and probably someone that I would look at bringing straight into the first team fold, maybe putting out on a loan spell, or we leave him here for a couple of weeks and see how that potential matures. Harvey Murphy, 68 to 94. So there's really a huge gap there in his potential. It could go low, it could go high, but he is only 15. So, you know, we can look at holding on to him for a little while in the academy. Carrizio, we know about. Now, Brandon Green, this is a huge lad. I mean, 1.1 million, 62 overall straight off the cups. So that's why his money value was so high. He's got a decent potential as well, but he's 16. So I would tend to leave him in the academy for a little while just to see, you know, if he will grow a little bit quicker. And then, of course, Palacio. So let's, you know, accelerate along another month. We'll have a look at this academy and see how they're traveling. We'll get some more reports back and get you a bit more of an indication of other players that you need to be looking at. So we arrive at the 1st of September. Let's have a quick look at the youth squad report first and see if any of these players, you know, have grown in potential or reduced in potential. So Burris still 84 to 94. He's actually gone up by 1 rating during this month. Morgan, you know, has dropped right away. That potential is dead, and for me, that is an instant release. See you later. Calavid, you know, 63. If you needed someone in to come in as a backup, his potential has definitely dropped away, and you'll generally get that information if they're pretty average to start with. So there's no harm in actually signing them for a month if you have the space. So this kind of lad, I mean, not really going to do anything for you unless you're trying to pick up, you know, 500 grand or something in the transfer window. Maybe you could sign him in and then try and offload him in the summer window. But for me, no, not what I'm looking for. Murphy's still looking okay. That potential has gone up, and he's only 15. Carrizio at 74 to 92. Green still holding that at 72 to 94 potential. And Palacios hasn't grown, but the potential is still high, so we'll leave them there. Those green arrows going up because that's, you know, they're getting training here in the academy a little bit, and that is what is allowing them to grow. Let's go and check in on the reports. Right, we are back here in New Zealand. We've got Billy Lee, 44 to 60, 69 to 94, so quite a high space there in the potential. If we take a look at him, he's 375 grand. Now, I would probably take a gamble on this lad. I mean, there's no harm if you've got the space early on in your youth academy. Once it starts getting full, then you really need to be a little bit more selective, but we will sign in Billy Lee. Now, if I look at his positions there, it is right winger, right mid, right back, centre mid, and left mid. I've got a feeling that he will be a right midfielder, but let's bring him in anyway. Cameron Phillips. Now, the overall's a bit low. The potential is, you know, quite sparse. 200 grand, probably a CDM, centre-back style, 5'7", probably not someone that I need, and I will reject him. Sam Hill won't make the cut. Hugh Alexander as well, and Marcus Moore is off to the races. We check in on the Ukraine, and we've got a few players to have a look at. No, thank you. We will pass. Gogol, no. 65, definitely not. And then Arsene Koma. Now, this lad will be a centre-back at 6'2", 49 to 65, 76 to 94 potential. Let's have a look here. 325, so he's around that middle mark of a player that we probably would sign at 16. If he was 15, his value would actually be a little bit lower. If he was 17, maybe a little bit higher. Let's bring him in at least and have a look, and I want to see if he is a centre-back. And the final one here is England. Taylor Hall, no thank you. Here is another one. Billy Green, definitely a left back at 5'10", 54 to 72 potential, 71 to 94, and only 15. He's probably got a decent valuation, 575. If he was 16, he'd probably be about the 800, 900 mark. I'm thinking that overall will be just under 60, but at 15, who knows? Let's bring him in. Will Turner, probably not with the potential. Lewis Bennett, no thanks. Sean Morgan, Callum Richardson, and Oscar Harris. 17. Because he's 17 and he's 375, his overall's probably quite low. I'm going to bring him in just so we can have a look at how a 375 is that dodgy sort of area. But let's bring him in anyway. It is a tutorial, of course. Right, so let's have a look here. So Billy Green, 60 overall at 15 is huge. That is massive. He's going to probably spend a fair bit of time here in the academy. You can't sign them up until they're 16 anyway. 3-star at this stage, but you can train all those things now. And he's got some good attributes under his belt, so probably a good left back for the future there. Harris was a centre back. Good to see that I picked that one up. 64 to 88 potential, 56 overall. So probably not someone that will make their mark here, but his potential could rise. You never know. Komara looks half decent, 76 to 94. Still only 52 rated, so he's got a fair bit of growing to do. And you'd hope that that would, generate rather quickly. Murphy's still okay. Billy Lee, 54 overall, 69 to 94. So it is quite high. That potential, the gap. It's a good 20, 25 rating that it could change up. So we'll leave him there and have a look next month. Brizio's still fine. Brandon Green does look the chops. 62 overall, 72 to 94. Let's hope that he can keep that up. And Palacio. So let's go another month. I'm not really too concerned on the players coming back now. We just want to see how this potential develops within the squad hub. Right, so we obviously sent our scouts out for 3 months, and that is why it now says use scout report available. This means that once you go into this view, it'll be the last time that you have an opportunity to sign play. If you back out, that's it. Those players are gone. So just be wary of that one. But let's go into the Youth Academy first. Have a quick look around. Burris, 81 to 94. So Green has dropped away now, 69 to 89. And that is the issue with that really large gap in potential. It's closed in a little bit. He's still 60. He's only 15. That potential could go up or down depending on things that happen within the coding. Harris, 73 to 93. Koma, 73 to 93. So that's changed a little bit. He's up to 18 years of age now. Murphy's dropped to 73 to 91. Billy Lee, 78 to 94. Carizio's dropped a little bit. Green, 79 to 94. He is looking decent. And Palacios, 82 to 94, and he's gone up one to a 54 after only 2 months just sitting here in the academy. He is growing. And you need to take that into consideration now because we don't have the training features that we've had in the last couple of titles. You can't just train one player. Now you train your whole team, and they don't grow as quickly as they would. There's no OP training of youth keepers and stuff to cash in. You need to really look and manage this squad properly. Right, so the final report, we don't have to release the players. The reason you do release the players is you can only have 15 players, I believe, in this hub. So if you leave 6 players here and wait for the next to come back and it brings you back too many players, you actually miss out on getting players back. So you're better off on the first 2 reports if you send out for 3 months just to clear the list unless there's someone there that you're a little bit 50-50 on. This final one though, you can just have a quick look around. There's no one here that I want to sign up and I can back out and they're gone. We'll reject all of them. Take a quick look at the Ukraine. There was one that looked okay. Pavlenko, he's only worth 100 grand. He's got a lot of work to do. Probably not someone you're going to bring in if you're in like a championship team. Possibly if you were down in the lower leagues, maybe he could be someone that could come in, but he's still only 15. You're going to have to wait. So that will be a no from me, and we'll move on from the Ukraine. And the final one, of course, we are here in England. Hasn't brought us back any talent. Taylor Clark at 72 to 94, 200 grand, possibly an option, but not what I want to sign, and that is it for these countries. Now, with your 3 months up, you are ready to send the scouts out again. You do have the option to scout longer. You can go, we could head off to Wales here quickly. You can go 6, 9, or 3. It'll cost you a bit more money. I'm not sure it's worth scouting for 9 months. I think the 3-month ones are good enough. You're not going to fill a whole team worth of Welshmen unless you're playing maybe a World Cup career mode. But yeah, once we start breaking down the types of players, then, maybe it is worth it. But for now, we'll just go 3 months for any. Right, so that's where we'll finish the scouting side of things. Just a couple of quick little tips here with your youth academy. One thing you do need to consider, of course, is their overall rating compared to what you currently have in the squad. So if I back out quickly and we come across to Watford, they're going to have a fairly high-rated team. Obviously, these aren't the final ratings, as I said at the start of the video. So these are all around the 70s. So what you will find now, if you went and signed up a youth academy player, oops, wrong screen. Well done. Go into our youth academy. Now, some of these, say Green here, 62 rated. He's going to come into the team. And you would have to look at how many other right wingers and right midfielders you have in the team. If his overall is higher or close to what you currently have in the team, generally he's going to get automatically signed as a crucial or an important player. You need to keep that in mind as well. If he gets a crucial or an important team and he's just rotting away on the bench because you have someone that's a couple of ratings higher and you would rather play them, he's going to get annoyed, he's going to ask for a transfer request, and he's going to leave. So you need to get him out on loan straight away, or make sure you're giving him the game time that he's looking for. So that where you're playing the lower league sort of stuff, you can't go ahead and sign 4 or 5 right midfielders all at around 60 rated if that's the highest that you have in your team, or they will end up all getting a crucial team role and you'll end up using 2 or 3 of them and they will, piss off out the door and go to the free agents or transfer to another team. So you just need to be a little bit careful. Make sure you are managing your team to your strengths. But let's get Brandon Green in here. We'll promote him to the senior team and we'll go and have a quick look at him. So we come across to the squad hub. Now he is a right winger, 62 rated. I've gone straight past him. So he's been given a prospect role. Now that is perfect because he's quite a lot lower than most of the other players in this team. A prospect role is fine. He won't ask for too much game time. You could send him out on a loan spell. Now his status here, he had 94 potential in the academy. He's come in here and he's an exciting prospect. So that means his potential currently is between 86 and 90. So he's not going to get to that 94 at this stage. But of course, we've got dynamic potential. We've got loan spells. Things can change for this lad. He could end up being an absolute piece of nothing. By the end of the year, he could be showing great potential or have no potential at all. So you just need to monitor that as well. They do need the game time, a little bit of match sharpness, keep their morale high, and that will keep their status up and growing quickly as the career mode progresses. If we take a look at his development, he's on balance like everyone at the moment. You can go ahead and change that. We'll cover that in a future video. But 3-star, 3-star, some good pace there. And, he would slip right in. There's actually no right wingers here at the club. They've got Sarr and Hughes there as right midfielders. And Delafeu as well that can play out there. So he's very low in the pecking order. You'd probably send him out on loan at this early stage and hope that he develops himself and grows into someone that can replace, some of these lads in the future. He's 6 years behind Sarr, and a fair bit of growth required. But there we go. That's probably all you really need to take into consideration with scouting the best youth talent. Look at that value. Look at that price. If you've got the room, bring them in for a month. Check that potential is, moving. If it's, 88, still sign them up if you've got the space, because as we've seen there, it can jump up And it may be a worthwhile investment. But that is where we finish today's video. That's a Youth Academy tutorial for you. We'll have more videos coming out on the channel from this capture event very, very soon. And getting ready for FIFA 21, where we do a full Youth Academy career mode. We'll see you in another video. I'm Sparring DK. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and you have a good one.